Can arthritis be prevented? And what can you do about arthritis? Is arthritis caused by something that you're doing? Well, this is a great question that has been asked for a long time, and it comes with a very complicated answer. And the problem is that because obviously there are so many factors that play into it, but one of the age-old questions is it genetic or is it something that people are doing? Like, are you wearing out your joints to cause arthritis? To understand whether or not any of these are true or if they're just myths, we need to go into this a little bit deeper. Let's break down first what the causes of arthritis is. Since we know that arthritis is a wearing away of cartilage, or the lining where the two joints meet, we like to believe that we're sort of mechanical in nature, and that essentially as those parts rub together, they wear down. So therefore, over time, we really don't have a choice. These spots wear down, and there's not a whole lot we can do about it. However, we are not really machines in that way. Our tissues actually respond to loads and frictions, and they typically respond by adapting and getting stronger. Now, the one thing with cartilage is, unfortunately, it does not have a good blood supply. Because it doesn't have a good blood supply, it can't get the nutrition and the building blocks it needs readily in order to make the cartilage stronger and adapt. So typically we do see a wearing away of that cartilage. But there is a great way that we do get nutrition, and that's from the synovial lining, and that's where the synovial fluid is produced. And the synovial fluid plays a real key role here because that is what gives cartilage its nutrition. And therefore, through this synovial fluid, we can get nutrition to the cartilage. Now, the nice thing is that there's a built-in mechanism that makes us want to move more, which is where we get the runner's high from moving a lot, is we produce happy drugs when we move a lot. We also produce synovial fluid. Now the thing is, synovial fluid is only produced when we're moving. So if we're not moving, we're not producing that fluid. So if you think about this logically, if we're not producing that fluid, we're not getting nutrition to the cartilage. If we are moving, we're getting nutrition to the cartilage. So that is one of the things that you have to understand here, is why this is more complicated. So are we wearing away our joint cartilage or are we not? If we create motion, which creates synovial fluid, and that fluid gives nutrition to cartilage, that is one way that we can keep the cartilage from breaking down. Now we know this is true. If we look at the evidence, we can see that while there is a lot of conflicting evidence out there, one of the things that's not really true is that um, essentially the more that you use your joints through life, the more they wear down. We actually don't typically see that in the research. But one thing we can say for sure is that if people aren't using their joints, they do start to break down. So now if we look at the other end of this and we sort of say, what about people who use their joints a lot? And we say one of the things that's looked at and studied very well is runners. So if we look at runners' knees, you would think that in most cases, people who run all through life tend to wear their cartilage away more. And we don't actually see this. What we see is that people who are lifelong runners really don't change the incidence of arthritis in their knees. However, people that used to run a lot and have since stopped later in life, we see a significant increase in arthritis. We can kind of look at this as the way we explain joints and synovial fluid. This kind of makes sense because if you used to give your joints a lot of nutrition when you were running a lot and then have since stopped and now they're not getting that nutrition, it makes sense that they start to break down. Now on the other end of that, people that didn't do a lot of activity or run early in life and then do later in life, same thing. We do see that they have a little increase in arthritis over the baseline, but it's better than the people that stopped later in life. So we could see that there tends to be a correlation with this idea of getting nutrition to our cartilage, which is really important.